Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today I have for you a full review of the brand new Tesla Cannon. Amazing toy added to Fallout 76. And just a quick mention, yes, I am testing all 4-star legendary effects to provide you a tier list, a guide, what to use. I could do that earlier if I would just go by description, but you know, I'm not doing that. So I need to know how they actually working. As descriptions, yeah, it's good if that would be always like in description, but it isn't in Fallout 76. You need to test everything. I tested most of them already, so I know what works with Tesla. So we covered on this category. Now, the brand new weapon. How you get it? You get it from a season pass. If you'll be watching this video later, most likely this gun will go into either gold bullion vendors or stamp vendors. So that's what's gonna happen. Taking into consideration what happened with other weapon in the past added to the season pass. Now, how good it is? It is kind of amazing. It is not a boss killer, but have a very unique features, like I would say secrets, that are not really visible based on description and everything else. It's only when you start testing it. But let me start from going over possible modifications for this weapon and what is really worth it. There are two possible configuration you could use this weapon. I have two. I have one Tesla Cannon anti-armor, one blooded Tesla Cannon. Let's start with high damage explosive variant. So the best legendary effects will be blooded, explosive, durability, polished. There is a little bit trick about this durability. I will talk about it in a second when I will be showcasing this weapon. Just don't install it too early. That's the trick. Now, if you are not blooded build, full health, you don't want anti-armor for this weapon. Doesn't really work. I tested. If you mod it as explosive, it's not really a good option. So you will need aristocrats, junkies, something like that. It's not great explosive variant as a full health outside of tagging, unfortunately. To give it a killing potential, it must be blooded build. I'm sorry to tell you that. I wish that would be different, but it must be. Then explosive second star is pretty much a must too, if you want to use it with area of effect damage. So it's a must. The biggest secret of explosive variant, if you modify it and use it as explosive, it's a wall-piercing explosion. I will show you in practice soon, but I'm telling you the first secret of this weapon. Wall-piercing explosions. So that's unique. There is no other weapon in Fallout with wall-piercing explosions. Then, if we covered those. About Polish durability combo, that in combat I will show you what I'm talking about as well. Then regular mods. I try to mod it with other variants that give higher fire rate instead of higher damage. You can't. It's not worth it. You will just press button more and spend more ammo to overall do the same DPS. So the DPS remains about the same. So it's a wash, but you just shoot so much more and blind yourself so much more. So if you plan to use it as explosive, the highest damage, wave oscillator, triple resonant, then Edison Series 2, and after that, you can go either ammo capacity. I like to mod it for the highest, as I'm not using it in VATS. It's not great in VATS. There is a reason for that. Combat Showcase is coming. Sights, you can equip some, but it just covers more of my screen. So it already covers a lot, so I decided to stick with standard sights. Direct current muzzle. This one has special effect of reducing target damage resistance. This does only apply to regular damage resistance, not energy resistance. So it's only relevant to help your teammates that are using ballistic weapons. It doesn't help you, as you are doing energy weapon with this weapon, energy explosion. And it's reducing damage resistance, so it doesn't affect at all the weapon itself. I don't know why is it like that. Why is it not reducing energy resistance? But it isn't. It's only damage resistance. So stock assembly or direct current muzzle, it's really kind of a wash if you are using it yourself. I decided to add it as why not? There is no really much of a difference. Alternate current muzzle. This one to change it into Tesla. So that's a second configuration. Second configuration I have on my anti-armor, as for a Tesla anti-armor works really well. And if you want a Tesla configuration, anti-armor weapon speed is what I recommend. After that, the third star doesn't really matter much. I choose lightweight, so I can carry it as like a sidearm. You could spec for that. This one can be spec for that easily. I have bullies on it at this moment. It's not good, but I need to change it to the best 4-star for that. What I tested on custom word, but I don't want to use this word here on adventure because I have only one. But pinpointers it is. The reason for that, when you mod it for Tesla, most of the random hits seems to count as hitting enemy appendages, rarely torso. So the 50% damage bonus is almost always applied if you use pinpointers, and pinpointers is multiplicative, so it is real 50% damage increase, not followed math 50% damage increase. It's a real 50% extra damage. So very powerful, one of the most powerful 4-star from my testing so far. So yeah, absolutely this is the best 4-star if you mod it as a Tesla. Regular mods, again, I do not recommend going for the faster fire rate. You just spam the button so much more to achieve similar DPS. I do recommend going full damage on it. Although in case of Tesla, it's less important as there is no crazy blinding effect. So you could try to spec it for very high fire rate and then it's easier to tag. I prefer it to be ammo efficient. Like lower fire rate, way more ammo efficient. The overall DPS is just slightly lower than spamming the button and modding it for huge fire rate. The weapon speed on the 2nd star seems to be already compensating very well for normally very low fire rate if you mod it like that. And of course, alternate current muzzle, that what makes it a Tesla. Now, combat, and let's talk about those secrets and tweaks into it. Just a quick look on my currently loaded perk cards. It's just a variation of a heavy gunner, but to use it as explosive, Demo Expert is needed and Grenadier is needed for both variants. Just to quickly mention that in here. Now, starting from explosive one, there is important info you need to know if you opt for that. So this awesome wall piercing, so just shoot anywhere, hit everything, which is great. You don't need to bother if there is obstacle on the way or anything. The explosion is quite good. The explosion damage with this combo is quite good. Of course, the direct impact damage is way better. It's still a direct impact preferring weapon, but explosion is what you will be using. So direct impact, if you hit directly target, it is dead. No matter what, it is huge direct impact. Now the downside, as you see, I'm taking damage. It is as well huge damage to a player. You can try to compensate against it if you would use armor that's assassins. For example, I have assassins here. It will protect you quite well from most of this damage. You will still take some, but assassin's effect will protect against some damage as you are a human, and assassins reduces the damage from humans, including yourself. If you really plan to main this weapon, going for recommended assassin's power armor would be probably preferable. Now about this durability, what I tell you before. If you will be modding it with those legendary effects, make sure that your durability bar, the 2nd bar, is not completely full before you install plus 50 durability. I was trying for an hour to drop it a little bit when it was 2 bars and I had durability on it and I couldn't. The problem is, when your bar is exactly at 200%, the 4-star polished do not provide any bonus. It needs to be slightly below, then it provides its best bonus. So it cannot be. You wonder why did I drop it so much? I don't really know. It was at 200%. I removed the durability from it. I modded it for weakest possible variant. I started firing, and it was still at 200%. And then suddenly it jumped to 90%. I mean 190%. I do not really know why. I do not have answer for that, but it doesn't seem to be moving since then. So it's like locked in here. I will observe it over time, but it's incredibly durable with this third star. I was not able to do any damage to it at 200% health. One bad news about this weapon, when we are shooting at wall, as you can see, I'm getting damage numbers everywhere on those super mutants. But the super mutants that are farther away, even though they do register a nice damage numbers in here, they will be rubber banding. So I'm shooting, I cannot really kill them. They too far from this explosion, too many walls maybe in between. I don't really know, but they will be rubber banding. I killed something and I did some damage. This one is full. This one is full. You see, it's the rubber banding. If they too far away, the wall piercing explosion is first registering and showing damage, but then it rubber bands all back. And as you can notice, quite blinding effect. And you need to be careful to don't hit yourself. Now I'm getting experience, so now I'm killing something by hitting over there. But double walls and too far away from explosion and you can. So I killed this one, I killed this one over here. So you can absolutely work your way through walls and the damage is great. Just be careful about this durability. You cannot have it at exactly 200%. And fixing it back to 200% can cause this problem again, so I will most likely only use improved repair kits to ever fix it, and I will keep it at half of this bar to still get some bonus and not go to 0. So this 4-star is very powerful, but quite problematic with application of this extra damage. The good thing about this, that's 4-star, it's carried to grenades, so my grenades are extremely powerful when I'm holding Tesla Cannon too, so you could double use Tesla Cannon and toss grenades like Nuka grenades or different grenades to have even more explosive, crazy damage. Now the second configuration, so the Tesla, way lower damage on impact, but quite good chain effect damage. So let's go in here. If I don't hit directly, oh, that's actually killed itself already. If I don't hit directly, the chain effect is quite good damage. It's not losing as much damage with bounce as it's losing on explosive version. So here, if I hit directly, if I hit next to it, it's very similar amount of damage I'm doing. And if I would have pinpointers equipped, the damage will go up greatly. So as you can see, that's the advantage. It doesn't really matter if I directly hit as much as it matters on explosive version to do maximum of the damage. And the biggest advantage, I am not blinding myself at all. So I can do it like that. I can shoot close to myself. I'm not doing any self-inflicted damage. And I can use it in VATS if I want. And it works perfectly fine. The other one, why I said I cannot use in VATS, the problem with explosive one, if I choose to use it in VATS, it's fine as long as I don't have critical. But now I have critical charge. And with this huge blast, if I choose to use it in VATS critical, I'm dead. Look how far I was standing. The critical will kill me incredibly fast from a quite far away. So that's why I said it's not for VATS. The explosive one, definitely not good for VATS. It's good for everything else. Tagging through the walls, doing good impact damage, not for VATS. VATS, it's not something you want to do with explosive one. Is there anything I didn't tell you? If you have questions, let me know. I was testing this weapon extensively, so I know about everything that there is to know about it. So please drop your comments in comment section if you have any questions. But the ease of use, this will be my new favorite, huge event tagger. The distance is really good that you can fire it. It's not really very limited like other weapons. It can go real far, can hit through walls, and you can kill and detect targets. Like by those damage numbers popping up, I can tell if there are enemies behind the wall or not, even if it will rubber band and not kill them. At least I know they are there. If I need to find something, they are there and I killed something. So it is working like that. You just need to be relatively far. Okay, another kill. You see? That's the biggest advantage of this weapon. You don't even need to open a door to kill some of the rooms, especially efficient versus weaker enemies. Now the remaining ones are most likely rubber bending health bars in there. They too far from the initial explosion or too many walls or something is going on. Like the damage numbers pop, but oh, something now died. So from time to time it will work. Most likely not worth spending all this ammo. The durability unchanged. So I don't even think, like, I don't know how it works with this durability. Is it like locked? I will tell you after a couple of weeks if I needed to repair it, if my durability bar actually moved. For now, it's a perfect setup. Just need to pre-break it a little bit before equipping durability. It's breaking it after that is impossible or almost impossible. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching and see you all in the next one.